Good morning, good morning. It is, oh my God, Thursday already. It's already Thursday. It's another opportunity to get it right for yourself, to just be in the moment of you. It may be quarantined outside, but you're inside and have an opportunity to really do something good for yourself. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I was trying to think of something to start off with, and I said, the fact of being quarantined, you just think of everything. I'm always thinking of music. I'm always thinking of what would I like to write for today. What's the issue I'm really on today? And the funny thing about it is that if you listen to the news, you really get caught up on so many things that are hurtful, and they could make you angry if it's on a political side. And I try not to deal too much on the political. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not big on talking weight, on talking politics, or talking religion. And the reason I say that is because everybody's entitled to an opinion. And I want them to always have their opinion. Always be who you are. You don't have to be it for me. And even if I disagree, sometimes you would never know it. And that to me makes great friendships. It just makes it where you can be a friend with anybody. But I'm so happy those of you who are coming in the room today. Certainly when you come on in, try to hit the share button so that others will know. Even after you finish, you can hit share, and it will still go out there and get the information in the view way. Not so much air, but air and view. It both happens at the same time. But I had given some people a challenge, and I know one person did do it. And in fact, I just wrote her and said that I was going to use her results, and she did make them public on my Facebook page. But I'm excited. I'm excited about this opportunity to talk about, are you stuck? We are all stuck. We're all here. We're all in our own homes, or it's maybe somebody else's home, but at least you're in a position where you're trying to remain safe and keeping the virus away from you and your family and friends, and that's a wonderful thing. But if when we talk about the whole "Are you stuck?", we're going to look at "Don't look back." I'm going to turn this light on here because it seems like as I started talking, it got darker and darker outside this window here. Hold on one. Well, I guess I'll have to turn it to the other side. Hold one. Let's see if I can get a little light in the room. Well, just a little bit anyway. We got a little light coming in, not a lot, but I think you should be able to see me, and that's all I wanted to make sure. But anyway, we're in our don't look back process, and our process of launching opportunities in transition. A lot. That says a lot about who you are and who you can be. It also says a lot about what's in the past you can't change, but what going forward you can, and you can work on it right now. We don't know how long we're going to be under this quarantine, but we do know that it is an opportunity to take some real, what I would call some collective gathering and assessment of who you are, what it is you want, and where you want to go. Today's issue that we were looking at under my do not look back or don't look back motto, it really talks about tell you how much you love yourself. Love, daily and often. And a lot of times we're so busy loving on other people or wishing for love of a love we may not have, then we feel like we're missing out on something. We've been some way, cheated. That's not so. Because I feel if you have a love of yourself, you can be what I call confident, and I have a cup here that says confident. That's what I want to be. I want to be confident if I'm in a single mode, if I'm in a double mode, if I'm in a trio, a quad, whatever, I want to be confident. I want to know that more is happening for me, because I am who I am. And I'm not worried about who someone else is. I'm confident in who I am as a person. And so, we want you to tell yourself that you love each other, and not worry about what anybody else says. And it says, give yourself permission to fall in love with you. Love conquers all. And, that's biblical based. That is biblical based. And as I said to you before, this isn't a religious program. This is not a religious course. But occasionally I know where I'm anchored. And I'm anchored in my Lord. And so I will occasionally say some things. And I hope it doesn't offend. If anything, I hope it says, well, I want what she has. I'm going to sample that. And sometimes sampling is good. But it is under it's 1 Corinthians 13:4-13. So it does have what I would call a frame. It has a frame and a foundation that talks about what love can do. Love conquers all. And to me, if you have no love for yourself, it's hard to love others. And sometimes if you love someone else more than you love yourself, if that person leaves, then you've been depleted beyond what is necessary. Why? Don't let it happen. If they go, they go. If anything, you can say, but I'm confident. I am who I am. Can no one take that away from me? I believe that if you love yourself, you understand who you are. You can't really worry about Susie, Jack, John, Joe. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you matter. And you tell yourself that you matter every day. You can be in love with yourself. Now, I'm not saying, I'm going to go back, and I said this before, do not be narcissistic. Do not feel that everything rises and sets in yourself, and you have no way of moving out on what is important. What's important is that you know who you are at the beginning of the day, at the middle of the day, at the end of the day. When you wake up for the next day, you are who you are. And so you cannot worry about how somebody may feel about you, or if they're looking at you, if they're worrying about what you're doing and where you're going. This is the time right now to take a new walk. Say, when I get up out of here, man, not only am I going to be walking, I'm going to be running to some assignments that were given to me while I was quarantined. And so in the do not look back walk, that means you got an attitude. You got a good attitude. You got a way forward. You got an excitement about what's ahead for you. And sometimes, the only way we ever know anything about ourselves is when we stop long enough to do an inventory. And we don't always do it. Sometimes basically, many of us can honestly say that we were put in this pause of normalcy, of what normalcy was for us, and some of us are not doing well with it, And so I tell you, if you're home and you're down and you're depressed, I can only say that I encourage you to find something that you like to do with yourself, by yourself, for yourself, and do it. If you like your nails painted, don't worry about having to pay that $35 for a set. Paint your own nails. Gentlemen, if you like to be touched up and get your hair and everything, that you may not be as good as the barber that does your hair, but guess what? The barber will be there later on. But right now, for your own safety, you're in your house, cut your own hair, if it's bothering you that much. Or grow a beard. Become your own little new distinguishedness. Find your own way forward. Determine what it is that you want for yourself. But anyway, as yesterday, for those of you who were able to visit me through the Facebook Live, I challenged some people, and one person, thank you, Katrina McBride. I thank you. I thank you. I love you already. And she took the test, the personality test, and I keep trying to post it. And I know I didn't post it this morning yet, but I will post it at the end of this. And I want you to not only hit share, but also put your notes in there. If I'm gonna say, I challenge you to take it, challenge you to see what it is that it highlights for yourself. Just based on your answers, it determines all of those different intelligences that I talked about yesterday. And it speaks on if you're an interpersonal or interpersonal, visual, logical, kinesthetic, musical, naturalist, linguistic. All of those are the areas of multiple intelligences. And as I said before, this was my doctorate. I really looked at how can we use multiple intelligences to help us look at our careers, help us look at the type of people we are. There's a course I took, and of course there's a book out on the 5 love languages, and I took that years ago. And you find out more about yourself if you just take the time to say, well, I'm a person, I want somebody to acknowledge me, love me, this is what I want. But they won't know that if you don't even know who you are. You need to know who you are. What do you like to do? This gives you some foundation for that. So I'm gonna share what Katrina gave me, and as I said, she shared it on the page, and it says you have unique set of traits that make you who you are. The study of personality identifies and organizes your characteristics and behaviors in such a way as to help you better understand yourself. Your Personality Max report is intended to equip you to lead a more effective and fulfilling life. Is that not good? Effective and fulfilling. So it's what you do with it. It's not just that they're telling you, but what do you do with it? And then her highest area was in intrapersonal, meaning this young lady probably knows who she is. She does. And therefore she knows how she's going to work in the world of work, or work in her family, or work in her relationships, work in her marriage, or her boyfriend, or whatever kind of relationship. To work, that's what it says. It also says that she's highly linguistic. She got an 87 and an 83 in those areas, so they're very close. Then it drops down to a naturalist. So this is a young woman that likes being outside, enjoys nature. Maybe she enjoys animals, or she just enjoys watching birds, or whatever it is. But there's indication there that she enjoys that. Now, this is just based on her answers to those questions. Then it talks about her being musical. So that means she has this appetite for music. It drops to the 70s, but guess what? 70 is still high above 50, so therefore she loves music. Then it talks about her kinesthetics, and in that area, that means she does like movement. Maybe she enjoys fitness. She enjoys doing something that gets her moving. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's rock climbing. Maybe it's some kind of physicality that just gets her moving, and she likes that. Then it says logical. It's really logical and mathematical. So that means that, she looks at things. She somewhat analyzes how things go. How does one thing plus one thing equal something else? She's going to figure it out, Then it talks about her being visual. So she can look at something and see something that maybe you look at and see differently. But that's her visualness of it. And even that was at 50%. And the interpersonal is the one that is the least, which is still at 50%. So this is a person that, from my background of working with this, is that she's pretty well-rounded. She's pretty together. She knows what she wants to do. She does have a good sense of self. But what she wrote to me in her note was that she wants to delve deeper. She wants to figure out, what does this mean? Or how can this pretty much make a new assignment going forward, or add to what she already does. That's good. A lot of times we stay so stuck so long that we continue to stay in our past. So we continue to do the same things day in, day out, and we never move beyond that. But in this instance, she has an opportunity to not only look at what she already does, but add to this. How can she even go further up into knowing more about herself than 87% of what the assessment tells her? How can she look at, making that linguistics work for her? Maybe this is a writer to be. Maybe this is an analyst, a program analyst, somebody that just constantly is looking at things. Maybe she's a person that could maybe be outside doing something very special. But it does tell her that your top intelligences are intrapersonal and linguistics. To me, this is a person that probably could stay home and write a book and come out and tell you about it, tell you how good her book was, or look at and assessing something and tell you what she got from the assessment that she did. So this is good. This is wonderful. I wish other people would do this, and I would have a chance to really break these down for you. And I won't break everybody's down, but I am available for we can do telephone consults, or we can do consultation doing the Facebook Messenger, where we can see each other on the video portion of that. But I'm here. I'm available. I've been here a long time, still here. Thank God for him allowing me to do what I do. And sometimes when we've been turned and twisted so much around in what we do normally, when we get an opportunity like this, I was challenged to do this. I kept talking about it, but I never did it. But I have a friend, and that friend knows who she is. She said, I challenge you to do it. When are you going to do it? And I'm like, well, I don't think I want to do it that soon, but look at me. Look at me. Here I am. This is now my, this is my 5th day. I've done all of this week, and I started on Saturday of last week. So every day I'm going to have something for you. I'm going to really look at bringing this to you every time I can, and making it an opportunity for you to take pause in yourself. Not just pause that you've been sitting down and doing a puzzle or reading a book. And I'm not saying that those things are wrong. They are absolutely, 24 hours is a long time in the house. And because we are people that are social, we're used to being out, we're used to being, among, everything out there, So for us to be kind of shut down has placed us in a position that we really need to say, well, what else can I do? And how can I do it? How can I make it work for myself? And I think this is a way. This is definitely a way forward. For this course, when I taught it for the ACTS Reentry program, I did it in such a way that I did it over 8 weeks, and because I had to lead up to it, and then I had to get them into it, and then of course coming out of it, and then having a ceremony at the end to say, for people to stand up and say what I learned about myself, or what I would try now that I wouldn't try before, or what I'm excited about now that I never thought I could ever have any excitement in. And this is when you step out on faith. You step out on trying something that just totally has probably scared you in the past. But here you are. You got a new day, a new opportunity, a new way forward, a new way to be excited about what's next, And so I am excited. I'm excited for the opportunity to talk with you every day, and just say this is wonderful. Now, I don't own this song, but I'm going to just sing it at the end, and then I'm going to say goodbye. And I didn't write it either. There's a little song I wrote. I'm going to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. That's all I got to say. Be happy. Be content. Be confident in who you are today, tomorrow, going forward. Find your way. Take the challenge. I'm going to put it out there again. I challenge you to take this multiple intelligences assessment and get some excitement in you. Try something new. We may be in the house for another, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Do something with it. I love you. I appreciate you. Please come back again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Don't look back. We all are stuck. So when I ask you, are you stuck? You can certainly say, I'm stuck. At least physically. Now let's go and get something else that puts us out there for the new physical. Amen. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.